Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches, and this is Stock Trade Ideas for the week of March 9th. Today is Sunday, March 8th, and we're going to take a look at trade ideas that we got out of last week. We exited on 3 of them. 2 that we're still in on US Steel and Yahoo, and then 2 more that we're closely watching on FireEye and Apple. All right, let's start off here with Seagate Technology. So we got in on the with calls here on the 9th and thought it was going to go, looked like it was starting to move. We sat through this little pullback, and honestly, we have not gotten the movement on some of these stocks that we've seen in the past. So not quite sure what's going on. Not sure it's because the market's transitioning a little bit here or what. But finally here on this day, it came up and spiked up on a big move, and it got within 10 cents of the target I had, which was actually closing this gap here, this big gap. And so right here at the low this day was 63.47, and the high was 63.39, so less than 10 cents. And I remember I was watching this very, very closely, and I just said, okay, it was stalling out. I could just see it. It wasn't, it had been pushing, stopped pushing, and just said, I'm out. We're out of here. So we were able to get out of there and got a nice profit. And then the thing just collapsed. Just collapsed right on back down. Now the intermediate trend is to the downside, and the short term is now turned to the downside. The long term, we've still got the 55 above the 233. But it's sure not acting real strong at all right now. So I'm kind of suspicious of this wave count, what's going on. This was kind of a funky looking, construct anyway. So I wasn't really sure, the way we had this spike up move, this was the best thing that I could see. Now we could still turn around, but if it takes out this low here, then this is not a 2, and we've got to really reevaluate what's going on. All right, let's move over, take a look at Under Armour. And so that trade turned out nice. Under Armour, on the other hand, this one was, we got in here on the 20th with calls, broke above here, which was kind of a trigger point I had in here. It's trading nicely above the 10. Looks like we had some consolidation, and I thought we were getting another breakout and getting a continuation move. Actually thought we were breaking out of this large, what looked like an ascending triangle. Now it still may do it. It just hasn't, it just kind of dogged after it got up here to the top of the channel, Keltner channels. It just stalled out with these doji bars. Now right here on this day, it actually got, my target was 77.88, and I got to 77.49. Now, probably shame on me for not taking a profit when it got that close, but I really thought we were like within, if one little push up and we were going to knock it out. Then it closes back down, and then of course I've got to stop, and I had a stop methodology in place, and then sure enough on Friday it got stopped out. So that was very, very frustrating to be that close to having profitable and then have it turn around and stop me out, and we ended up having a loss on the trade. So, when you have these little pullbacks like that, that's what's going to happen sometimes. Let's take a look at United Continental. Now here's another one. Again, we got in, it was breaking up. Thought we were pushing and having another thrust to the high side. We got in here on this day, on the 23rd. Really nice turnaround, opened lower and had a really nice bullish bar on here, but no fall through. I mean, it's just nothing. It turned into a little pivot point here, pulled back down, got a couple closes below the 10, and that was a stop I was using, but never broke this low. So, kind of a deep pullback against us. Then we got a rally again. I thought, okay, now we're going to really go. We're going to break this little swing move and roll, and nothing. It pulls back down. So when I saw this happening on Friday morning, I said, look, if this closes below the 2-day low, I'm out. And that's what it did. And so we're out. So again, another trade that's just not getting the follow through right now. And I know that Delta is looking even more negative than this. So I'm not quite sure if the airlines are, even with oil being so low and having collapsed over the last 6 to 8 months, are the airlines starting to tell us that the economy is not as strong as we all think it is. I don't know. All I know is we're not getting any fall through right now on the airlines. And okay, the next two that we're still in, United States Steel. And again, we got in with puts here. A little bit of a pullback. It's come back down. It was coming our way. And then we got this 2-day little spike back. Now, Friday, it came back down again. And I was originally targeting to try to hit the bottom of this Keltner channel, but at this point, I'm going back to a target that's here in the in the 22s. And looking to exit this trade. I mean, we got marches and times running on, so it's time to, get out of this. And if we hit this little short-term target, we'll have a nice profitable trade, nothing to complain about. So looking to get out of this, and it may go further. We'll just have to watch to see, but I'm ready to start grabbing profit. Yahoo is another one that really, the picture on the consolidation on Yahoo, we got in here with puts, thought we were breaking down. And if you remember, this thing looked a little different. It kind of looked like this. And, we had the lines drawn, right in like this. And so we had tight little wedge consolidation and thought we were starting to break on down out of it. And then look what happened. It pulls back up. And really what it's done is it kind of morphed into a little bit bigger consolidation. And then it broke down out of that. And it pulls right back up into the heart of it. So right now I am trying to, I'm still in the puts and trying to just kind of manage the trade, with a stop up above here. And it came back down below the 10 again, and looks like it may be getting ready to resume the breakdown. We'll see. We're going to have to get some follow through on Monday, Tuesday, and continue down. I still think this looks like consolidation, like a continuation type pattern. Sometimes you do get this pullback up into the triangle like that, and then it resumes down. That's what I'm looking to have happen. But if it doesn't, I will be getting out. So that's the play on Yahoo. And right now, my short-term target, what I'm looking for, is a close of this gap. Okay, 40.50. Now here's the 233-day moving average, and here's the bottom of the Keltner channel. So not quite sure if I'm pushing it on trying to get to 40.50, but a lot of times these gaps just act like magnets and just really ask to be closed. And so we'll see if that's the kind of move we get here out of Yahoo. All right, now the two trades I'm watching for this week is, let's start off with Apple. I think that we're in this fifth move here, the last intermediate wave up of a 5-wave move. And so right now, I think what we've got is we've got 1, 2, a nice strong 3, and we're getting a 4. Now, I don't think this is the 4. I think we're going to get a move maybe back up again, but it's really hard to tell. What I'm looking for right now is we get a close back above here, above the blue line, the 10, and especially breaking, say, the high of these two bars in here, and a resumption of the move to the upside. This may be all we get in terms of a correction. It may be a little move up and then back down again. We'll just have to watch, but I'm kind of watching Apple here to see if we don't get a resumption of the move to the upside. And then the last one is FireEye. Similar type thing I'm looking for. I think FireEye's had a move. Either we're getting this is 3, or it starts from here and this is 3. But either way, I think we've got a third minute wave in here in a minor wave 3 up. So we're in a nice move to the I side. You see all the moving averages. At least the short-term and intermediate are aligned to the upside. We're getting a pullback. And so what I'm looking for is it needs to show me that it's ready to turn. So I'm looking for it to close back above the 10-day exponential moving average and get above, say, the high of this bar here. And so I'm looking to see if that's going to happen and watching for that. We may get further pullback before we get any kind of a turnaround. So I'm just kind of watching. It's got to prove it to me that the time is right to enter. So those are the two I'm watching. We'll see what develops, especially after the big down day on Friday. See if that's a short-term washout at the end of a, say a 2-week pullback, or whether we have more. Now, the other thing to think about here is this is coming up on the Thursday, Friday of the week before option expiration. And many times the market has a tendency to hit a low on that Thursday, Friday before the option expiration week, and option expiration Friday, so which is the 20th. So the 12th and the 13th, this coming Thursday and Friday, will be interesting to see if the market continues to pull down into some kind of low on one of those 2 days, and then we rally off of that. So that's one thing to keep in mind for this coming week. All right, this is Joe for Beyond the Chart. Everyone have a great Monday, Tuesday. We'll be back with you on Tuesday.